When you think about trading crypto, I bet your mind goes to algorithms, complicated charts, maybe some 24/7 news feeds, right? But what if I told you that one of the most watched indicators for some traders wasn't on a screen at all, but in the night sky? Today, we're diving into this pretty fascinating belief, and we're going to explore whether the fate of our digital money is actually written in the ancient cycle of the moon.
I mean, let's just say it. At its core, this is a truly strange belief. You've got this world of high-speed, decentralized finance, and in the middle of it, some traders are looking for guidance from the exact same thing that guided our ancient ancestors. It honestly sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, but this idea has a surprisingly strong following.
And just look at the contrast we're talking about here. On one side, you've got the whole arsenal of modern trading, all the algorithms, data, a constant stream of information. And on the other side, the moon, the tides, ancient lunar phases. It's really a clash between pure logic and, well, what some people might call pure superstition.
Which brings us to the central question of this whole explainer. It sounds kind of absurd when you say it out loud, doesn't it? Can a giant rock floating in space, hundreds of thousands of miles away, really have a tangible effect on the price of something as weird and abstract as Bitcoin?
So, what exactly is this lunar trading secret people talk about? Well, it's not some complex astrological chart. Actually, the theory's real power is in just how simple it is.
The first half of the theory is this. When the moon is new, when the night sky is at its darkest, the market is supposedly filled with this optimistic, positive energy. The belief is that this is the perfect time to buy because prices are much more likely to pump upwards.
And you guessed it, the flip side is just as straightforward. When the moon is full and bright, the theory says the market turns bearish, a little more pessimistic. This is when prices are expected to dump. It's a really simple, memorable pairing. New moon pump, full moon dump.
So it's a neat little theory, right? It's cyclical, it's easy to remember, but the really obvious question is, what does the hard data have to say? If this pattern is for real, it should be super obvious in the historical charts for Bitcoin and other cryptos.
Well, here's where it all gets a little bit murky. The truth is, the data is completely mixed. You can absolutely find times where the market lines up perfectly with the lunar cycle, and then you can find just as many where it does the exact opposite. So if the data doesn't really back it up, why does this belief stick around?
This is where the story gets really interesting, because it turns out this isn't really about astrology or some kind of cosmic energy. It's about psychology. It's about the human mind desperately trying to find some order in one of the most chaotic environments on the planet.
And this quote just gets right to the heart of it. The real story isn't whether the moon actually moves Bitcoin. It's the psychology behind why traders want to believe it does. The key is understanding why a totally rational person would grab onto this idea in the first place. So why believe? Well, think about it. The crypto market isn't like Wall Street. It's more like a 24/7 global casino that runs on pure emotion and hype. In that kind of crazy, uncontrollable environment, our brains are literally hardwired to look for patterns. A belief like the lunar cycle gives you a simple story, a kind of map, and most importantly, it provides a sense of control.
So what we're really talking about here is a coping mechanism. It's a mental strategy to deal with the extreme stress and uncertainty of the crypto market. It's the comfort of thinking maybe the universe is sending you a few hints, especially when all your fancy technical charts aren't helping.
Okay, but hang on, because this is where the idea gets truly fascinating. What if the belief itself, it doesn't even matter if it's true, what if the belief itself could actually start to move the market? Here's the most crucial point. In the world of crypto, sentiment is everything. Fear, greed, and pure hype are the things that really move the markets. A simple rumor or a single tweet can send prices to the moon or crashing to the ground. In crypto, feelings aren't just feelings, they are fuel.
And you can start to see the potential chain reaction here, right? First, the moon's phase influences how traders believe they should act. Second, if enough traders act on that belief, like, say, by buying on a new moon, they can actually shift the whole market sentiment. And finally, that positive sentiment can create a buying wave that pushes the price up. The belief literally becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy.
And all of this leads us to our final big question. After everything we've talked about, who or what is really in control here? Is it the technology? Is it the fundamentals? Or is it something else entirely?
Now, think about this for a second, because this is the big twist. Maybe we've been asking the wrong question this whole time. Maybe the moon doesn't control the market. Maybe the moon controls the traders. The physical effect on digital money might be zero, but the psychological effect on the people trading it, oh, that is very, very real.
And that is the final piece of the puzzle. At the end of the day, a market is just a collection of people, all making decisions based on what they believe and what they feel. So if the moon controls the traders, well then, in a very real, if indirect way, the traders control the market.
And that leaves us with one last thought to chew on. In a market that basically runs on pure belief, what's really the difference between a real signal and a shared belief? If enough people decide to trade by the light of the moon, then the moonlight itself becomes a real trading indicator. It's a beautiful, kind of bizarre idea, and it perfectly captures the strange universe where ancient superstition meets modern digital money.